more often than not, we tend to focus on the things that do not actually matter, that are basically a side tangent of the main thing that we're supposed to be following. I get urges, and before, I used to be the type of person who had a habit tracker, and the habit tracker is a side project that's basically a quantitative measure of my success. I want to be the person who can do the hard work, who can wake up early, do my habits, be consistent, finish the work regardless of how he feels, how sick he is, etc. But the habit tracker is the way that I track that, not the other way around. It's not like me sacrificing my personal development for a habit tracker is the way. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I used to be the type of guy, I used to feel for months and months, I was like, instead of hitting the gym, how about I do an extra 200-300 push-ups? Technically, I'll cross the habit out, but the whole purpose that I have the habit tracker is so I can track that I am becoming that person. Okay? It's basically telling me and keeping me accountable by giving me specific numbers, statistics, you've been consistent or you've failed. And there's times still, and before that I used to genuinely give into that, where I was like, today I'm supposed to meditate, but I didn't listen to music while I was working out, so let me just cross that out. One thing gone. I'm supposed to journal, but technically I've been journaling in my mind, I've been thinking a lot today, so try to cross that out. Now, the main thing that does not, look, the reason, like I mentioned, I have this habit tracker is so I know that I'm keeping the word that I've promised myself. Keeping my promises to myself alive. So sacrificing personal development for the habit tracker is the dumbest thing you can do. But we as humans, we will always, always, always be tempted with things that do not always make sense. And when you even look back on a third perspective, you're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, y'all know this. That's why excuses sound best to the one who makes them. Now, when I hear someone else make excuses, it's easy to go, dude, that's a fucking excuse. Like, I wouldn't fall for that. Come on, how are you falling for that? But the same thing is happening with you. That's why I think meditation, although it might sound like some hibby-jibby, that type of thing, it's actually different. It's about emptying your mind and keeping the thoughts aligned. When I meditate, I don't think about 10 things that I'm grateful for, 10 things or like whatever. I basically try to shut my brain off and try to control every thought of mine that tries to interfere with the 10-15 minutes of it. It's not literally, if you can't focus on 10-15 minutes, and then you're like complaining about your circumstances, I feel absolutely not sorry for you at all. I don't feel sorry for you. Sorry about that. But one more thing is, this is my second time of recording. I don't know if I mentioned it already. You will always have things unexpectedly happening to you. And you will always, always, always have your frequency pulled down by you. Whether you, for example, today I got a fine for 58 euros. Had to pay an extra 58 dollars. That was like 53 euros for public transport out of nowhere. Boom, I can't read your tickets. I have to give you a fine. Now, things like that are always going to happen. This is nothing. The magnitude of my problem is nothing. However, it still pulls down my frequency. There's someone in Afghanistan right now, a child, who's lost his parents and lost his legs due to war. The reason he's in that position, the reason I'm in my position, is not because I'm the chosen one and I'm gifted with these powers. Yes, I am gifted with these powers by God or by the Creator, but it's not because God decided to say, oh, this guy's better than him, and I'm going to give you the option, he can do whatever. It's simply because luck, okay? Now, I don't believe in luck. The ones who've seen my videos already know. I pretty much discourage anybody from thinking that way and thinking that things are happening to them rather than for them, but certain things are just outside your... So basically, your mind is limited, so you can't understand unlimited things. Does that make sense? That solves what I was trying to explain. Now, that's why you need to always be ready for the things that could be happening to you. There's probably someone your age, looking similar to you maybe, who got terrible news today, yesterday, last week. Maybe they saw a lump in their neck that they wanted to check out. Turns out it's stage 3 cancer. They're gonna die. probably, or the medical expenses because they live in the US are like 6 figures. And at the end of the day, they don't even know if they're going to survive, etc. Maybe they found out that when their parents, when coming back from a restaurant, died from a car crash. That's happening. That is reality. Now, the way, instead of, because I'm someone, I put a lot of value in things like family, health, and the things that I've been given. And at times I catch myself facing fear regarding that. I catch myself thinking, dude, like, I don't have control over my health. Of course, I can eat healthy and exercise and whatnot, but nobody's gonna know. I can't control this single cancer cell that hasn't been prevented in my body, or I can't control the one sickness I got. But I don't want to get off topic. So there is things that you cannot control. So the best way to handle them, if they happen or once they happen, because bad things are gonna happen to everybody. Whether your house might set on fire. Yes, these are extreme examples. Those don't happen to the average person, but who knows if you're part of the average person or not? Maybe right now you're thinking to yourself, dude, this guy's like, fucking, my house is gonna burn now. But next week when something terrible happens to you, when your water overflows while you're sleeping, then you'll be like, dude, okay, things happen, all right? You have to be ready for the worst case. There is a guy on Instagram that I'm following. It was like ready for 3 a.m. He was basically posting workouts and him pushing himself, and he was like ready for 3 a.m. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it sounds a bit goofy, right? But what people try to mean by that, and people are terrible, surprisingly terrible at articulating discipline. That's why I think I gained the advantage in this field, not because I'm better than everybody, but because I put more time, effort, and energy. I think I have I have the ability to communicate certain thoughts better that I see people missing out from people like David Goggins. David Goggins is good at saying, keep pushing yourself, fuck your discipline, whatever. But when you're fat, lazy, and you don't know these things, those words don't mean nothing. So be ready. The purpose for doing something is not necessarily to see an outcome. Don't think small. If you're present enough and you think hard enough, you will understand that bad things happen. So might as well prepare now. Maybe something terrible is going to happen in 5 years, maybe 10 years. Maybe it won't ever happen, but that's not the point. Same thing with becoming, I'm interested in martial arts. I have no experience, and I am not in a scenario where I can defend myself in a dangerous scenario as much as I would like to. So I feel the fear. When I see someone sketchy in public transport or in public, I have the fear. Now, maybe if I had been boxing, if I had been preparing, I wouldn't feel that fear. That doesn't mean that something's going to happen to me. It could, but that's not the reason. It's because I have to be prepared regardless. As a man, you have to be prepared of everything that could happen to your family, to yourself, and things that could keep you off track. That's what I strongly believe. And anybody who would like to argue with me can type it in your comments, but I quite frankly don't care. I genuinely don't mind what y'all say. I'm fine with y'all commenting, doing whatever. But if y'all are making excuses towards things that are simply obvious, like, you will literally tell a person, I work out seven days a week. I could check my phone right now, but I've been consistent probably 90% of the time, or between 85 to 90, okay? Nowhere near what I would want to be, but that's the way it is. Now, there's going to be some bimbo with his mentality. He's watched porn today. He's cheated on himself. He's eating shitty food. He's going to be like, dude, he's going to feel bad and be offended, okay? That's how the human mind. He's going to be like, dude, 7 days, you're not even buff, bro. Like, who does bro even think he is? He looks skinny or whatever. Who cares? Your excuses are such a perfectly reflective mirror of your own mentality and your own thoughts. You know, when I see people on Instagram posting their Lambos or something successful that done them retiring their parents, you will always see that one person, and it's usually thousands of people if the videos will go on viral enough, saying, rented car, or like, bro took that money back after the video ended, after like they give. I always see unnecessary negativity, and I used to get very pissed, and still I'm someone, I approach discipline in life with aggression, because I think instead of being this passive, like meditative type of guy, I think it's way stronger to have a frequency above what's hitting you. But the reason people do that, it's simply because they won't get inspired by that, because they've already mentally accepted that they won't have the same thing. But when I see a guy having a Lambo and I know I will never ever have one, I will feel terrible, and I'm gonna feel a negative way towards him. However, if I know I'm gonna have that Lambo one day too, and I'm like, dude, like it's so inspiring, I can do that soon as well, I will not feel negative. So I understand I feel negative towards certain things as well sometimes. I catch myself, because I'm present enough to analyze my thoughts, having an unnecessary negative reaction. When I'm at the gym sometimes and I see some old bimbo with his wearing the weirdest shirt that I've seen while I'm covering myself up, or I've put in the work, and I'm like, that pisses me off, and I'm like, dude, why is this guy staring at me? Or like, dude, why? Like, you know, these negative thoughts that inherently spawn within you. You have to take care and be accountable. You have to take care of your thoughts and understand, dude, why am I so negative? What does this reflect to? Am I being negative towards this guy because I don't have confidence myself? Every single time I had some type of negative thought, and you understand, because you're not a retard, you understand that it's your fault. You understand that if you look at an old guy trying to work out and you get pissed off by that, it's a reflection of yourself, because you think other people are judging you, so you feel the urge to judge them. That's how it is. Now you all know that my videos are usually very aggressive, but I think, and I understand now, after uploading like 35 videos, that sometimes it is completely okay for me to show the side of me that gets impacted by that negativity. I'm not always that type of guy who screams and is aggressive and is like, yes, get it, I wake up early, do this. I still fail to my habits. I'm nowhere close, I wanted to say, but I am getting closer, of course, to the person that I want to become. But I still suffer. I still go through the things. I still feel frequencies where I feel hopeless, and I have to take a step back and analyze myself and think of what I should do next. And sometimes, and this is me being honest and vulnerable, sometimes when I come off as that person who has it figured out, does everything 100% correctly, I feel bad for y'all. But I'm very honest, y'all know me. When I do something wrong, I say it. But sometimes the way I come off, I don't fully communicate and articulate my insufficiencies enough. Is that a right way to put it? Probably. I saw a guy recently commenting one of my videos. He was like, great take, love it. I'm gonna try help my friends and surroundings about that issue. And this is a separate topic, but this is still something that I was thinking about. Y'all probably heard, whether it was in the 48 Laws of Power or just some self-improvement guru, maybe somebody like me, who's not that famous, talk about the fact that you cannot influence people unless if they're already at the brink of changing and committing to that change. You will never be able to open somebody's eyes whose eyes are closed on purpose. Only when somebody's already trying to open their eyes and they're trying to resist it is when you can help them. What do you think, dude? I see that even if it's in your family. I have experience with that, I promise you. Even when it's in your family and you want to help them and you love them, sometimes the best thing you can do is isolate yourself and lead by example. Sounds tough, is tough, I understand. But this is how it is, because my experience of me spending countless hours trying to convince that person, telling that person what to do, it usually hits you back in a negative way because you don't pull them up above the water, they usually pull you down. That's the problem. And even in 48 Laws of Power, this is the first time I heard it, it said, or this is the first time I materialized that thought, was one of the laws is to basically separate yourself from negativity. And that it's infectious. The people who don't want to be helped, those people, that's why when I talk to you guys and the couple of people that derive immense value from, some people watching this, this might help them get through the negativity. This might help them get through the small stage or develop their thought where they're like, at least they move forward. At least they take the frequency that I give them and they apply to their lives. They feel motivated or disciplined, whatever. Now, I have friends that I absolutely like, that are close to me, but when I give them the same advice, they don't take it the same way and it doesn't impact the same way. A bottle of water in a store, I wouldn't say Albert Heijn because that's what we have in the Netherlands, but let's say Walmart or a store is sold for €1. Okay? At a festival, maybe it might be sold for $3.50, and at the airport for $5 to $6. Same bottle of water. What does that say? That says that the environment also dictates the value that you get. Now, I post my elevation. I post my thoughts and the things that I'm going through, so you guys can elevate with me along the journey. But when you try to help people without them feeling the need to be helped, it seems almost in a desperate position, and they always perceive it as you being in an inferior position where you have to help them. When you give people something, that's why there's people messaging me on Instagram every now and then. They're like, dude, I've loved your videos. I think we can partner up because I want to do some stock sales or whatever. Usually they don't even care about my videos. They just want to promote their own thing. They're like, dude, been way watching for a partnership, obviously these promotions. And they're like, I have a great offer for you. And I tell them most often than not, first of all, I've never seen you. Second of all, if I actually did see you, the fact that you're trying to promote your channel, because a great product promotes itself. This is a rule. I'm teaching you, right? I'm teaching you discipline. But if I were to go to someone and be like, dude, can I teach you discipline? Can I do this? Like, it puts me in a desperate position, even if my product is real. Even if the course that I sell, whatever, is real, the fact that I'm trying to pull these people, like ask them and push it on them, kind of gives a regurgitated feeling, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I've been feeling the negativity that you might be feeling as well, where you're like hopeless and you don't know what you've done. You've tried multiple businesses already, which basically consisted of you spending the time just researching and trying to build up your Notion or Google Calendar. What should I do this week? From this time to this time, and you don't even follow through. And then you're like, oh, why didn't I get anywhere? I get this. I get this feeling. I get the negativity of putting in effort or feeling like you've put in effort and you're not getting anywhere. But guess what? I respect those who still keep pushing. Because it's easy to be like, oh, this isn't for me. This is oversaturated. This business model doesn't work. Or I can't gain weight. This isn't for me. My enzymes work different. Let me not work out. And then you go back to Netflix. It's very easy in this society to feel comfortable, even with a low budget, even in the lower echelon of men, even in the lower branches, even when your income is low. Because Netflix costs like €15. You can watch every series online for free. That makes you happy, feels dopamine. You can get some microwave food for €3 that makes you happy, comfortable. Doesn't make you happy, but it makes you comfortable. But the lack of fulfillment is going to end up killing you and poisoning you in the end anyway. However, I respect anybody. I understand that as long as you keep pushing yourself willingly into the zone of uncomfort, You will always, always, always derive truth and value from it. Even if you're like, dude, what I'm doing seems valueless, helpless, I don't know what to do, I don't know where I'm doing, I need help. I get that. Keep pushing anyway. You're not, like I always say, shoot the gun. Even if you miss, the fact that you shoot gives you an approximate idea for how you're going to get closer anyway. The fact that it's supposed to feel hard, the fact that you're feeling hard is a good indication. Guess what? What else is the alternative? Giving up on your dreams and feeling comfortable for a second? Because let's be honest, if you give up on your dreams right now, for a short period of time, you're going to feel relieved. You're not going to feel responsibility. This poison, this dopaminergic poison is going to infiltrate your mind. But you choose to keep pushing anyway. And I know with every part of me that whatever effort you put into something, you will always derive a value back. Now somebody might be like, well, that's not true. I can work on a business for 5 months and not make any money. Yes, you can. That is completely true. But you don't, look, people, the problem with people is they think they understand so much. And they think the missing information they have is complete. They think just because what they say makes sense is the way it is. And it's not. Because I might understand something and say something that is correct, but the information might be missing something. There might be a missing link that when you get that additional perspective, you elevate. Been keeping this video for 21 minutes. I still have to finish my journaling, but keep pushing. The fact that you're feeling this low state and hopelessness, and you're like, dude, I just want to give up, but I can't because I just want to become the person. I get that. Keep pushing. 2-3 years, 4 years maybe, however it may take, and I'll finish my sentence. However long it may take, it will always pay off in the end. I promise you. I promise you. And if it doesn't pay off because you've maybe given up, and you're like, dude, I spent 1 year, I didn't get any results, I wasted that time. You didn't waste that time. Maybe that energy slingshotted back to you in form of regret. Maybe you'll derive the lesson of regret through it, but you will always derive something in some form through it. All right, boys? Keep pushing. Keep attacking what's in front of you. And I promise I'll try the same. And I promise sooner or later, regardless of how many negative urges that I get, negativity that I get my way, or how many times I might fail, I will always stand back up again. Because that's the only way to succeed.